All right, good evening, everyone. I call this May 21st, 2025 meeting of the Albuquerque-Bernalillo County Water Utility Authority to order. Chair Pena and Vice Chair Barbara Baca are excused. In their absence, I'll chair tonight's meeting. We have a quorum, and Councilor Sanchez is on his way. Several members have conflicts this evening and need to leave early, so we're going to postpone items 10B and 10C to a future meeting. We'll go ahead and have a moment of silence and then the Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilor Lewis.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Councilor Lewis. I make a motion to approve the April 23rd, 2025 minutes. Is there a second?
Second.
A second from Dr. Sengel. Seeing no discussion, all those in favor of the approval say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, motion carries. There are no proclamations or awards this evening, which will take us right into public comment. Ms. Salas, do we have anyone signed up to speak?
We do. I'll call a first speaker.
Okay. So for our speakers this evening, you'll have 3 minutes to speak with a warning at 2.5 minutes. So Ms. Salas, go ahead.
Nathan Picaro to come up first.
Good evening, members of the board. My name is Nathan Ficaro. I'm a power generation technician at the 2nd Street wastewater plant, and I'm also a union steward for the local 624. First off, I just want to celebrate an award we got from the reclamation plant that in 2023 we had the Gold Standard Award. We get that for not violating our permit on our discharge. There's no way to say it. Albuquerque's getting more expensive. And you know what, we're coming up into our collective bargaining agreement. And we just like the board to take in consideration that, you know, it's getting more expensive, and I got the numbers to prove it right here. I don't know if you have my handout, but housing alone, the affordability is in the 50th percentile, which is the lowest. And we are down for this current year, 2.4% from year to last. Also, our average home price is, for a detached single family right now, we're looking at $450,000 for a house, and that's in the greater surrounding areas. That's all information I got from the Greater Albuquerque Association of Realtors. So we're getting up to the upwards of $279,000 for a detached single family home. I mean, we're up from 2022, which is our last contract collective bargaining agreement, almost 20%. I mean, it's a pretty big increase. And if you look to our first page, our starting salaries for our O and B series, which is a certificate and non-certificate O and B, we start out at O20s. They are paid $20 an hour, and that's $43,000 a year. A B20, which is a non-certificate, makes $19 an hour, and that's $39,975 a year. Our high top out on our O scale is $31.90, and that is $66,000 a year, $66,366 a year. So for our B90s, which is our top leading scale, I mean, these are electricians. These are coming in with a certificate, something that you have to earn. It's a craft. They're making $32 an hour, $32, $36. And if you look, I gave you a local union page that states they're making about almost $40 an hour out there in the unions. And just it's getting hard to live out here. For a single family out here, I need to be making upwards of, for one child, it's about $38 an hour. And that's, if both parents work, we got kids to feed, we got daycare to do. So we're just asking you keep us in mind, this negotiation and this collective bargaining. And it's hard. We got to make about $116,000 just to afford a home here. And how do I tell my younger guys, stay the course if we can't make it? And we just ask you keep us in our negotiations and keep us in our mind. Thank you guys.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Chair, next we have Derek Graham.
Chair, members of the board. My name is Derek Graham, and I'm speaking on behalf of ASME Local 624. We've been going over the budget lately, and we're in the middle of negotiations. However, we are asking to adopt a $3 million amendment to this year's budget to raise the total wage increase to water authority workers from 3% to 6%. Right now, the budget only funds 3% step increase, which is about $3 million, and that doesn't keep up with the rate of inflation and what our families are facing at the grocery store, for the mortgage payments, for rent, the gas pump. But if we reallocate $3 million from the existing funds, we could make it fair and bring our wages up to where we could at least feel like we're appreciated here, and where we could feel like we're the #1 asset, the backbone, which operates this water authority, you know, the distribution, the wastewater, the plant, all the divisions, the blue collar workers. If you cut $1.5 million from the IT budget and Fund 21, bringing it back to FY25 levels, and you direct $1 million from the risk and authority overhead, currently over $8.5 million combined, and pause $500,000 in non-urgent spending from fleet and facility maintenance, budgeted at $6.7 million, a little high. This isn't about spending, it's about pay for essential workers and earning national awards. You go to the 5th floor, there's awards all over the walls up there. You know, it's beautiful. Well, it's time to kind of show the workers their appreciation for those awards on the walls, you know. You know, we're out there, we keep the water flowing, we show up every single day through COVID. A lot of people stayed home. We were told we weren't, you know, we were essential workers, you know. Well, it's time for you guys to show us how essential we really are to getting clean, safe, reliable drinking water to everybody in this metro. I just hope you guys do, you know, what's right and what's fair, and so we can negotiate in good faith and get us to where we need to be. The past 4 years, there was a 20% increase of inflation, 20%. Our wages increased 11%. Blue collar, I'm talking blue collar, right? Well, it's probably all of us. 11%, that's 9% difference. So we're behind, as of January 1st, we're behind 9% for the past 4 years, and that's just facts. You could Google it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Chair, next we have Marcia Fernandez.
Gosh, I feel like I'm getting in the middle of a very large discussion, and I'm going to change the topic. Hi, my name is Marcia Fernandez. I am a South Valley volunteer. I work in the community and have for almost 40 years. What I wanted to talk about tonight is a concern I have. Working with the neighborhoods all these years, we have begun to have a really good relationship with the county. They started out not telling us everything, and now they tell us so much stuff. Your inbox and your email just fills up every day. It's great. They bring us into so many discussions talking about everything. I was horrified in February, I believe it was, when I got a call and an email about a thing that happened in the South Valley at Harrison Middle School. I'm referring to a close to $95,000, 95,000 gallon spillage of raw sewage onto the campus of Harrison Middle School, right in the heart of our community. My 3 kids went there. Luckily, they never dealt with raw sewage at that school. We have dealt with sewage in the South Valley since forever. We are the hosts of the sewer plant. We are the hosts of the smells that are resultant to that. We have a lot of things in our community that are ecologically not very pleasant or nice. So I was pretty horrified when I heard about the sewage spill at the middle school. I went down there and took a walk with the gentlemen that are sitting here behind me and our new commissioner for District 2, Frank Baca. Thank you, Commissioner. We took a walk and looked at what had happened, and it was now many weeks since the spill had happened. And of course, remediation had begun. They had dug a pond-like structure, and there was sewage still standing in it. But there was evidence of lots and lots of water having flowed out of the sewage pipes there that are above ground. They're above ground because there's been other problems at this lift station number 20, which is located on Isleta Boulevard in the heart of our community in Adobe Acres. And as a community activist, I'm a member of the South Valley Association of Neighborhood Associations, one of the founders, and I'm their secretary currently. Pretty much everything that happens in the community comes across my email, my text, something. Somebody will call and let me know what's going on. If it isn't the county, then it's my neighbors. And we heard nothing. The people in Adobe Acres who were members of our association knew nothing. They live right there. They had not heard about it. So my concern is, why was there lack of information when we have been included in so many decisions and so many things lately? We've been brought in on so many ideas, things going on we know about, and then this happens not once but twice, and we didn't know anything about it. And my question is, I hope this is not a trend of hiding things, of lack of transparency, of lack of information. A community deserves to know what's going on in its midst. Our children go to that school. They walked through that sewage.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I really appreciate you being here tonight.
Certainly,
Appreciate your
thank you.
Mr. Chair, next we have Norm Guam.
Good evening, Norm.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Chairman Olivas and members of the Water Authority Board. My name is Norm Gom. I'm speaking to you as president of the New Mexico Water Advocates, a nonprofit corporation headquartered in Albuquerque. I ask you to please consider the disconnect between the Water Authority's current public messaging and the reality we face in 2025 with regard to our water. This seemingly intentional disconnect misinforms your customers and creates cognitive dissonance. Under agenda item 10B, which I understand you're not hearing tonight, Mark Kelly's slide number 2 shows Bernalillo County is in drought stage D3, extreme drought, which he doesn't label. The Water Authority says it is in stage D0, which means no action needed by your customers. According to your definition, D0 means only that customers are conserving more than the board's goal. To the Western United States, D0 means abnormally dry. And again, the current reality is labeled D3, extreme drought. Why is the Water Authority not officially acknowledging hydrologic and climate reality? April 2025 was the driest April on record. 2025 is shaping up to be the driest year on record. Are you not officially acknowledging this because customers are already conserving more than expected, more than your goals? Is this a revenue issue from lack of sales? Most concerning is the Water Authority's lack of public attention to the ongoing Rio Grande Compact compliance emergency. Is the board aware? It's my professional opinion that the Middle Rio Grande's cumulative delivery debt, these are deliveries to Elephant Butte Reservoir, will grow significantly in 2025 due to overuse in the Middle Valley and could cause a compact violation this year, and if not this year, the next. A violation will bring serious consequences for the Water Authority and its customers alike. Your customers and your credibility need your transparency, leadership, and action. I urge you, Mr. Chair and board members, to consider directing staff to bring forward a more accurate and responsible public message, one that reflects the real hydrologic and climate conditions and recognizes the shared risk we all face if the Middle Rio Grande's continued gross water overuse violates the compact.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gum. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, next we have A.J. Woods.
Hello, folks. Thanks for having me tonight. First thing I want to do is introduce myself. My name is AJ Woods. I'm a middle school science teacher at Harrison Middle School. I was at the school that was directly affected by the 95,560 gallons of raw sewage that dumped onto my campus. Before I get into that, I'm also a Fed rep for my union, and I want to extend my solidarity to the workers in this room who are asking to be bargained with in good faith so that they can make a living wage, because their work is very important. What I want to say today is, first of all, I want to just kind of fill folks in. Is the board aware that 95,560 gallons of untreated sewage flooded onto Harrison Middle School grounds in December? Cleanup efforts were unsatisfactory and took months and are actually still incomplete. Today, I went and looked and found that there is still dried sludge on the surface of my campus. Please consider the bureaucratic failure to communicate with the school community that led to exposures to parasites, pathogens, disease, volatile organic compounds, endocrine disruptors, and raw human waste. I want to thank Commissioner Baca for showing an interest in this concern that I have, that I brought forward quite a while ago, because if it had not been for Commissioner Baca, a conversation between myself and the Water Authority would not have been opened to where I could have gotten accurate information. My administrator at my school was not interested in being transparent about the size and scope of the spill. She was interested in keeping it a secret. So I want to thank Frank for putting me in touch with David. David gave me the accurate information that I needed to know about the size and scope of the spill that took place at my school. I basically am here today to advocate for my children. Many of them are underrepresented. And I want to make sure that something like this actually never happens again to them, to their learning environment. And I want to make sure that I have a safe working environment, not only for my students, but also for my colleagues that I represent at Harrison Middle School. So there's an article in the Albuquerque Journal about APS's response to this exact spill. And APS, I think, was, they did receive some criticism for their response. I think that the Water Utility Authority's response publicly about this spill also had a couple problems. One thing that they said on KOAT was that they would never aspirate a pipe during a duty day while staff was on campus. They said they were doing that at night. I actually have footage on my phone of them doing that during the duty day while students and staff were on campus at my school. It produced incredible odors. I think it was hydrogen sulfide gas or something like that people were breathing. Please consider how this affected my students, myself, my community, and let's make sure that something like this.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Chair, that was our last speaker.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you to all our speakers tonight, and thank you to all the blue-collar union workers in the room this evening. So we'll move on to announcements, communications. Our next scheduled meeting is June 18th at 5 p.m. right here in the Vincent Griego Council Chambers. We have no introduction of legislation this evening, and that takes us to our consent agenda. Do I have a motion on the consent agenda? Motion from Councillor Lewis. I'll make a second. Any discussion on the consent? See none. All those in favor? Yes. Any opposed? No? All right, that passes unanimously. I do want to just make one quick comment as we pass that. In here, item E is an extension of our employment agreement with our executive director, Mr. Sanchez. I just want to recognize him and the amazing work he does, the amazing organization that he has built. I think he's very deserving of that extension, and we are well served to have him continue to sit in that seat. Thank you, Mark. Item 9, approvals. And our first item, item A, is our annual operating and capital improvement program, our budget, beginning in July of this year. And we have Ms. Marta Ortiz to present.
Good evening, Mr. Chair and respective board members. This legislation was introduced at the last board meeting in April. Tonight is your action to take action to this and approve it. I have a brief presentation to present just to review what we talked about last meeting. So I'll go ahead and get into it. So the budget starts July 1st of this year for FY26. Our projections for revenues is $259,800,000, of which comprises of rates, water and sewer service, as well as connection fees and the water resource charge. This budget does not propose a rate adjustment. It does reflect a nominal growth in the service area, which is about not even 1%. We haven't seen very much growth in our service area. Consumption levels are currently at 126 GCBD, and it also produces $11 million of additional miscellaneous revenues that comprise of interest, income, compost, etc. On the expense side of the FY26 budget, it's at $264.8 million, which comprises of our labor, which is about $76.5 million. This includes a 3% cost of living increase. There's no proposal of increasing in positions. It also includes an increase in fringe benefits to include that we pay 80% of those benefits to our employees. We also have about $78.3 million in operational expense. Some of those significant amounts include about $16.3 million on energy. As you all know, PNM is proposing increases, so we've reflected that increase in our budget. 11% starting July 1st, as well as an additional 10% in April of 2026. Some other significant increases or expenditures are include, insuring our buildings and property, barricade and paving for emergency repairs. We have a significant chemical budget, as you can imagine, to produce the water as well as the sewer. We incur banking fees and merchant fees for our payments for customers that pay with credit cards, as well as securing our sites. So that's about $1.8 million. We have about $109 million transferred to our CIP budget, as well as debt obligations. And then the offset between the revenues and expense is we're dipping into our reserves to fund the FY26 budget. Some of the challenges, future challenges, are about on the capital side. We go through in the decade plan, we go through a process of identifying priorities of capital needs. Some of the challenges we had were about $1 billion of rehab projects alone over the next 10 years. However, we can only fund so much because of the revenue sources that we generate. So there's a funding gap there. So we're going to use that as a tool as we evaluate and assess our future rate adjustments in the upcoming year. Also, a large portion of our linear infrastructure is over 45 years old. So in some cases, it's older than that. So we continue to try to structure funding to our capital program. Also, we take into the risk scores and condition of our assets to prioritize those projects as well. Some of the factors in the capital budget, we're seeing an increase in inflation and economic factors, as you can imagine. So those projects are outpacing inflation. We're seeing delays in projects up to 3 to 6 months. And then our contractor pool is limited here in New Mexico as well. Some of the actual samples that we're experiencing, we're already seeing tariff impacts. We had to order a water intake brush, which it was an additional $200,000 just to get that part. We're also seeing impacts on projects as well. The To'Hajiilee project originally was cost at $7 million. It's now at $23 million. The Thomas Arsenic Treatment Facilities, again, prices, we were estimating it at $14 million. Now it's already up to $18 million. So we're seeing the effects. The CIP budget is being proposed at $96.5 million. 70 million of that is for our basic rehab program. $4 million for growth projects, 20 million for new special projects to build new facilities at our SWRP location, and 2.5 for Water 2120. We're also going to be carrying over funds from FY25 into FY26 because of the delays that we're experiencing in spending that money. So in summary, the proposed FY26 budget includes a 3% cost of living increase, adjustments for economic conditions, increase in capital costs due to the aging infrastructure, as well as we're going to be evaluating future rate adjustments in the coming year. So we want to focus on providing the highest quality of service at affordable rates while maintaining our financial stability. So I stand for any questions that you may have.
Thank you, Ms. Ortiz. Members of the board, questions? I understand there's an amendment. Councilor Sanchez?
Yes, thank you. I've got floor amendment number 1. On page 6, line 1, insert the following, renumbered the subsequent sections accordingly. The executive director is directed to implement 4% cost of living increase for FY26 subject to negotiation. So based on what's gone on is, man, I just have the utmost respect for every one of you who are my superstar employees. That's why I always call anybody that has direct access to the public. And I just worked on this with Councilor Pena. We worked on this with the administration. As we worked on this, I wanted 5. I wanted to be at a 5% increase. So this is actually going to do a 3% plus 1. Everybody knew it. I did my best because I think you guys are the superstar employees. But without having to have a rate adjustment, this is where everything fell. Like I said, wish I could have done a little bit better, but we also had another big issue, and that was the nominal growth in reference to our customers. And I know everyone out there understands that we didn't grow. We have a stagnant city. Our economic development is less than 0.1% in Albuquerque. We're losing people, and people are leaving Albuquerque instead of growing our base. So when we don't have more customers, it makes it harder on all of us. And that's not only just us here at the board, but it also makes it hard on every single one of us in this room. So with that, I'd like to move amendment number 1.
Mr. Chair,
Oh, yes.
if I can just jump in. we don't usually have amendments, so we're not, well-versed in this, but you need to move the bill first onto the floor before Mr.
Okay.
Sanchez moves his amendment.
So go ahead and we'll can move the bill.
Okay. Do we have a motion on our 2519? From Councilor Lewis, I'll second. And so now we're on the bill, if you'd like to
And
make
the
a motion.
amendment. So I'd like to move amendment number 1.
Second? Okay. Open it up for any discussion or questions on the amendment. Moving from a 3% cost of living adjustment to a 4% cost of living adjustment, subject to negotiation.
Subject to negotiation.
Member Benavides?
Well, I mean, I can't vote, but I certainly like what I'm hearing. Thank you so much for bringing it up.
Thank you.
Dr. Single?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think I appreciate Councilor Pena and Councilor Sanchez bringing this amendment forward as we try to balance both maintaining our rates to our customers as well as supporting employees. And so I appreciate the thoughtfulness working with the administration of the Water Board for bringing this amendment forward.
I just wanted to ask a quick question of the leadership. This is something that the current budget can support? You feel comfortable with this?
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, we will have to go into our reserves and certainly watch expenditures. We'd have to come back mid-year and adjust the budget.
Understandable. And I seconded this. I totally support this. We've got some hardworking folks in the room with incredible skills. As a plumber myself, I understand a little bit of what you do and how you do it, and absolutely deserves to be paid better. I don't actually think you're being paid quite at market rate, but that's often the trade-off that folks make working in government versus private, right? We have better retirement, better benefits, those kinds of things in the public sector working for the utility or the city or the county, but usually slightly lower salaries. So, there's a trade-off there, but I think this gets us a little bit closer and, rewards the incredible professionals and the incredible skills of our employees. The comment that I have, though, just going forward, in line with what the director just said, is that ultimately we're drawing this from our reserves, and there's only so much reserves. I think it sounds like we can handle this year, but I do think ultimately we're going to be looking to the ratepayers next year because this has to come from somewhere. And as we saw on that last slide, or second to last slide, the To'Hajiilee increase is particularly notable. 7 million to 23 million. That's three times. That's a huge increase, thanks to the administration in Washington that has brought that upon our entire country. And so, we're just starting to see that filter down, but that, much more so than the wage increase, concerns me, because ultimately our ratepayers are going to pay for a fanciful scheme in Washington, D.C. that I think is dubious at best to see how that plays out. But that is going to be shouldered on the backs of our ratepayers and our employees who are also ratepayers. And, rather than getting the 5% that Councilor Sanchez wanted, they're getting 4% because of this nonsense that we're seeing. And so it's just very disappointing that that's what we're doing, but we don't have a say in that. And so I think we're doing the very best we can here for our employees and for our community. So totally support this. Councilor Sanchez.
Thank you. One other thing is, I've been a city employee my whole life, and now I'm a business owner now, and then a city councilor. One of the things that I've had the opportunity to see working here at the Water Authority and being part of the Water Authority Board is I honestly feel that you guys probably work for the best city department. What I see, the way the budget went down, the way the audits go down, the way everything's handled here at the Water Authority, I have to say that you guys probably work for one of the best entities in the state of New Mexico. And with that, I just want to say thank you so much to you, the hard workers, and also to the Water Authority personnel who really wants to take care of you in as much as they possibly can. And I think that reflects based on what happens on the city of Albuquerque side versus what happens here. The Water Authority really works hard to take care of what they do and to handle their business a lot better than some of the other city entities. So I just wanted to say that you guys are very lucky and blessed to be working here, and I'm going to do my very best to make sure that we have equitable coverage on every front as much as I can. Because again, you guys are my superstar employees. You're the ones that make it happen. Without you, things don't happen. So I just want to say again, thank you to everybody in this room for working hard, tirelessly, and making this Water Authority an excellent entity. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Councilor. Any other comments? Yes, Commissioner Baca.
Yeah, I'm new here, and so I don't know the whole history and the players and the dynamic that's going on, but I just would like to say that in the short time I've been here, I have been impressed by the work and the staff that's being done, from blue collar to management and everybody in between. And this modest cost of living increase of 4% does not, from my perspective, does not reflect the value of your work and your performance. It does not. It is, I think if we all had a magic wand, it would be significantly higher. It's the irony that I'm learning about is, conservation also reduces revenue. And so that's something that is just the reality and the factor. So I wish I had some answers, but I'm very supportive of the work that's being done, and I appreciate the effort, and I join with the comments that certainly wish that it could be more. And I'm sure that there'll be some thoughtful discussions going forward in terms of how to address those needs, because, ultimately, there is nothing more important than our employees. There is nothing. They should constitute the vast majority of our budget. What do we have but employees? A building does nothing without our employees. So I think the idea that to value their employees and to pay them, a fair wage is common sense. It's just something that we should do. And so I just think and I hope that going forward there will be further meetings, discussions, and development of a plan to really fully compensate employees to the true value that they are deserving of.
Councilor Lewis.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just the Water Authority over the years, since 2009, since I've served on the council, the Water Authority has just been managed very well. And so that's why, I think we have an opportunity here to be able to make some adjustments here, and certainly working with our staff, that, knows this budget in and out, has been, working it, and knows the day-to-day, implications when you take a dollar from, one place and put it in another place. And so, really at the administration here for the, the management for the Water Authority, and helping us to figure out a way to be able to do what's right, really put some more money as much as we can and make some adjustments that we could, to our incredible workers and that do so much for us. And so we certainly appreciate it. But I've seen that over the years, and I've seen that in many different federal administrations. And it's the management of the Water Authority that makes a difference, not who's in Washington, and not some of those kinds of implications. And we could certainly have political discussions about that. I don't think it's the place for it. But this is because we have a really good management of our Water Authority that manages well. And so when you have a board that wants to make some changes and looks at amendments like this, we have the ability to do it. And so thank you all. Certainly thanks to our, to Mark or to Mr. Sanchez and your team, and absolutely to the workers. You just do such a phenomenal job for our city and county and everything you do. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Councilor Lewis. Any further discussion? All right, we're going to close the floor on the amendment. All
Urge your
those in
support.
favor? Sorry, Councilor. All those in favor? Yes. All right. That passes unanimously. And we are back on our 2519 as amended. Any discussion on the underlying bill, our operating budget for next year? All right, seeing none, I just, again, want to reiterate what others have said. Thank you to the amazing staff that have put this all together and do this every year. And I know tomorrow you're starting on next year's budget. You probably already have, so.
Even a mid-year.
Exactly, so it doesn't end, but I think this is a very good plan, and glad that we were able to do that additional adjustment on salaries. So with that, we'll close the floor. All those in favor? Yes? And seeing none opposed, that passes unanimously as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And our last business item tonight, our 2520, authorizing the executive director to enter into agreement with the Village of Tijeras for return flow credits. Diane Agnew to present.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, in front of you tonight is an agreement with the Village of Tijeras to continue providing them return flow credits. There's a number of properties, as you know, that we've worked with to connect them to our sewer service, but they're still receiving water from the Village of Tijeras. And the Village of Tijeras is required by permit with the state engineer to report quantity of water that they send out to the Rio Grande to show that they are not depleting the river. So this is a continuation of our collaboration and coordination with the village, and I'll stand for any questions.
Thank you, Ms. Agnew. Any questions? So the Village of Tijeras is in my district, so I'm very glad that we're supporting them and their residents. I was, in reviewing this, I didn't see it. Are they charged anything for that service that we provide? Do they pay proportional share or anything like that?
Mr. Chair, any of the Village of Tijeras customers that receive our sewer service pay for it, that sewer service, just like any other customer. But as far as this return flow credit, there's no cost associated with it. I just track quantity of water we put into the river. They let me know how many gallons of use their customers have had, and we share that information paper with no costs between the two entities. I hope that answers your question.
Okay, so this is really just for that sort of accounting service and for the actual services that the residents are, the cleaning of the sewage essentially, they are paying for that as any resident would. This is just, okay.
That's right, yep.
I understand, very good. I would move approval.
I'll second.
Second from Dr. Single. Did you want to say something? Okay. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Yes? And is that your, okay. That passes unanimously, thank you. And then we have one more item this evening, item 10A, our drinking water consumer confidence report, and Daniel Shurin to present.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. My name is Danielle Shurin. I'm here tonight to present the Drinking Water Consumer Confidence Report for 2024. You should all have a copy of it in front of you to look at while the presentation happens. The Compliance Division manages water quality reporting for drinking and wastewater plants. Specifically, the Drinking Water Quality Program manages regulatory monitoring requirements, customer calls and concerns on water quality, and public education and outreach on specific topics related to water quality. And we'll get into a couple of those today. The Consumer Confidence Report is an EPA requirement. It's an annual water quality report that reports on any substances detected in the previous calendar year. So today we're presenting the 2024 report. This went out in the mail in the last couple of weeks, so everybody should have a copy. All customers receive a copy in the mail. This year, we are also working on an email version to get it out in a digital format, and a billing insert also that links to our website. So we're looking to expand our outreach and possibly in the future get rid of the paper version. We're just looking into options to reduce costs for that. So this report, as I mentioned, defines all of the detections of substances in the previous year, and it also compares those to the federal water quality standards. So it shows clearly and transparently that our water quality standards are met. And this is, as I said, a public notice requirement to educate our customers. We also do have this available in Spanish on our website as well. There's a number of sections that are required by the EPA. Outreach and education is one of them. It is a requirement to report to our customers how they can reach us, how they can get more information on specific topics of concern. We have a pretty robust website that covers a lot of those topics, so we send them there in a lot of cases. We also have to explain where our water comes from. So that is an important foundation of what our customers should understand. In Albuquerque, we use groundwater wells and San Juan Chama surface water treatment plant as our water sources. There is a standard definition section as well. Because this is rather technical water quality information, the standard definitions helps customers nationwide receive the same public outreach and education. Since this is a requirement for all public utilities in the country, it brings some consistency to the reporting. All right, the laboratory requirements are the center of this report and its requirements. So we list the substances detected during our compliance monitoring in the first large table. And in the second column right next to each of those substances are the source. So where is this coming from? Where is this problem coming from? That's an important aspect of understanding what's in our water. There's a table on unregulated contaminant monitoring rule. That's a EPA-specific rule that looks at substances that may be regulated in the future. So they get an understanding of prevalence and quantities that are present in public water systems so that they understand how to regulate it in the future. And then also they have some required context, which describes a little bit more in depth on the sources of these substances. Are they man-made or natural, and how different contamination sources can come to be. All right, so for the definitions, there's, like I said, there's some technical definitions in there. I think what I wanted to focus on today is the units of measure. That can be a tough thing for people to understand how different they are. So the three I'm going to focus on is parts per million, parts per billion, and parts per trillion. So those are increasingly getting smaller as I listed them, and I'll describe that. So part per million can be visualized as one drop from an eyedropper in 10 gallons of water. So that's about the size of a small aquarium. So one drop in an aquarium. A part per billion can be visualized as one drop from an eyedropper in a small swimming pool, 10,000 gallon swimming pool. And then an even smaller concentration is a part per trillion. And that is one drop in 10 million gallons of water. So that's like if you put 1,000 of those small swimming pools together and put a drop in there. That's how small that concentration is that we're talking about when we say parts per trillion. So those are very small quantities we're looking at and measuring. Okay, let's get into the results. You can see all the way to the right, this is our check marks that transparently show that the detections that we have found in our system are lower than the maximum contaminant level, which is the water quality standard for the federal level. So just to kind of go across the top, we list the substances in the first column, as I mentioned, the source of that substance in the second. We then have the year it was sampled and the detection limit. The detection limit is the lowest amount a lab can measure with confidence. So that's the smallest amount you would see from a lab result. And the minimum detected is the lowest amount that we saw in our system. So some of those are 0 if there was nothing detected. We have the average detection system-wide. That's a congregate of multiple results averaged together. And then also the average just specifically at our surface water treatment plant, since those are two different types of water treatment. Maximum detected is what we look to compare against the maximum contaminant level. So that's the highest result we saw versus the water quality standard. And then the maximum contaminant level goal is a public health goal that EPA sets for communities nationwide. So you can see that all of our results, although we did detect some substances, they are all below water quality standards, which means our water is safe to drink per EPA. So this year, our unregulated monitoring rule table lists a number of contaminants. Lithium is the first one that was looked at. This one does not have a health advisory level set at this time. EPA looked at it to get a better understanding of the levels of lithium in public water supply across the country. The other substances are all PFAS, which are per and polyfluoroalkyl substances. These are often nicknamed the forever chemicals because they take so long to break down. As you can see, we did not have any PFAS detected in our water system, which was great news. And a very positive outcome of this study. PFAS is looking to be regulated in the future by EPA. Another highlight this year is our service line inventory. Lead monitoring is something that we always offer to our customers for free. We offer lead testing by request. If anyone has concerns about their plumbing being particularly old or possibly containing lead. And this year the rule expanded to require public water utilities to complete a service line inventory. So that's every line that goes from the water main through the meter to the house or the building. As you can see in the diagram, has to be identified and the material type identified. And so we have a website where we're surveying customers and collecting and compiling the data from our utility staff. We check in the meter box and we look at both sides of the service line from the meter box and record that in our inventory. And it is a requirement that the inventory is publicly available where customers can search for their address to see if we have an understanding of what their service line is. Like I said, we also offer voluntary testing for any customer that requests it. So these are some results of the voluntary testing that occurred over the 2024 period. There's another section in the report that just talks about frequently asked questions. We do have arsenic in our drinking water that we treat for. We have 5 arsenic treatment plants throughout the system. And so this is a naturally occurring contaminant as a result of volcanic geology in the ground. So it is something that we just have present naturally and we treat for. So there are often questions on that. Sodium is another question that we often get. It's naturally occurring and just relates to customers in different ways depending on the health conditions they may have. Another place we have extensive information on water quality on our website is the Water Quality Zone webpage, which I have a little clip of here. Each of these zones represents different areas served by different wells throughout our service area. So if you click on any of these zones represented by numbers and different colors on our website, you'll get a water quality report specific to the wells in your neighborhood. And so that just gives you a little bit more resolution on any questions that folks might have for the water quality at their address. And that covers the details of the water quality report for 2024. I stand for questions.
Questions? Dr. Singal, you're up first.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Not a question. Well, I do have actually a question. On the service line inventory, you all gave us reports multiple times at meetings about the progress you were making. Are we complete on that, or what is our anticipated timeline for full inventory?
We are not complete. We actually have 10 years to complete that full inventory. So we have submitted our initial inventory to the New Mexico Environment Department. There are some sort of predictive modeling that we're using to try to reduce the number of unknowns that we have. So we're looking for approval on those. We expect it to probably last 5 more years, I would say.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to say that I believe this report is one of the most important things that the Water Utility Authority does each year. I think our community expects really quality information about their drinking water, and that I think you all do a great job in producing this report. I do find that based upon our community and their accessibility to documents and tools and information and internet and all of the challenges that we may have for folks accessing information, I think this is an excellent tool. And I know you mentioned hoping to move away from the printed materials, but I do think there's real value in our community. I know several people that have in the last year talked to me about receiving this and having this available and having true confidence in the quality of our drinking water as a result. I also want to point out, I think you all are being incredibly humble. You skipped over the awards that you have received as a result of the quality of our drinking water. And I think that's really important for our community to know that you all are doing incredible work in that multiple entities, including the EPA, have awarded the Albuquerque-Bernalillo County Water Utility Authority with what I think are incredibly commendable awards in terms of noting both the quality of the testing and the work that you do, and then of course the management of the quality of our drinking water. So thank you for that, and I encourage you to always remind the community that you're being noticed, that the quality of the work you're doing is exceptional and noteworthy for awards. So thank you for that work.
Commissioner Frank Baca.
Well, you mentioned PFAS. Maybe you can show me. I don't see it here on the charts. Probably there's someplace that I can find out if somebody can point me to it. I'm not surprised it's not showing up because of the source of PFAS, right, from plastics. But anyway, but my question is, and I'm just asking because I don't know the answer to it, and I'm, in terms of, is there an opportunity for Bernalillo County residents who have a domestic drinking water well to have their water tested?
Yeah, I think there are water quality labs in Albuquerque that would serve any individual. Excuse me, sorry, there are water quality.
I don't know if your mic is on.
Can you hear me now? Okay. Sorry about that. There are water quality labs in Albuquerque. Eurofins is one of them that can test for PFAS. So anyone with a private well could bring a sample to a laboratory. They would have to pay for it themselves, but.
Right, and not just for PFAS, just to test the water generally.
Sure.
But that's not a service that this organization offers. You'd have to do it privately.
That's right.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Commissioner, just to sort of answer the question, because I have a lot of residents in the East Mountains that have wells and are interested in that. NMED also offers that service. Mr. Benavides.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the table of the regulated substances, right? And for all those substances, everything is below the maximum contamination level, and that's why we get a check mark. How far back does this data go? Do you know?
The sample year will show you some of the oldest ones. So you'll see the oldest one present on the report is cryptosporidium, and we only test for that when the surface water plant came online. That's why it's listed that way. Everything else is tested in the year listed, sample year listed.
So my question is, have you looked at trends? I mean, is there anything trending upward that we should be concerned about?
No, I think, you know, if anything is a concern, then we manage it as soon as we can. You know, for example, arsenic is naturally occurring. We find that in our wells. And we do see an increase over periods of time, and sometimes it'll decrease, but we manage that through treatment. So we'll adjust our treatment to make sure that we're removing anything that is present below the standards we should.
So that's a good point. So prior to treatment, there are trends that might be concerning, right? But there's nothing out there that you feel like we can't handle.
At this point, yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
Well, thank you. That's all I have.
Sure.
Any other comments or questions? I think the PFAS section in particular is really fascinating and encouraging. I think our community should really be encouraged. I was just reading a story about some of the communities on the Ohio River, and I think Louisville, some really big, like, cities the same size as Albuquerque that are struggling, and they actually specifically mentioned this Gen X chemical, which replaced a lot of the older PFAS chemicals, and the struggles that they've had with that because they take their water in directly off that river, where upstream there's plants that are putting that into the river. So, I think we're very lucky, both with that our groundwater and I guess that's sort of a question, is this includes surface water, the testing for PFAS?
It does.
Okay.
It does.
So, that's pretty comprehensive, and I think we're pretty lucky, given that we do have some upstream communities, though they don't have PFAS plants or anything like that, but we know that PFAS is in our clothes, it's in our food, it's in all kinds of things. So I think we're very, very lucky to be in the situation we are on that. Do you have any idea, has there been any effort to test our wastewater effluent for these chemicals? Not necessarily these other ones, but PFAS, plastics, those kinds of things.
For PFAS, we did just start monitoring our wastewater system. So we're looking at the industries that discharge to the sewer, and then what comes into the plant, and then what leaves the plant goes to a reuse and then biosolids. So we're just starting to get a good data set on that system and looking for solutions to any issues that we find.
Very good. I commend you for getting ahead of the curve there.
Yeah.
That's great. Anything else on the water report? Thank you so much, Ms. Shurin.
Thank you.
And with that, I think that concludes our evening. With no other business, this meeting is adjourned.